Yes, guys, this is Azizul Maksud. I'm back with something interesting today. Real-time interview crackers. This is and part 21. It's a long series, and today's one is the Docker prime issues for the DevOps freshers and experienced. Especially, I am focusing the freshers because when I was fresher, it was really super tough for me. So I know how to handle these kinds of issues by the freshers also. And here, Docker with total 30 scenarios and troubleshooting steps I have explained here. And these 30 scenarios with Docker, I strongly believe you can crack any Docker interview. I'm going straight forward to the in detail. This is a comprehensive in detail I'm explaining. I started from basic Docker commands, very basic one. First, I'm making the color. This is like this. So basic commands. First scenario is here. Docker daemon not running. Very much basic thing, and you must have to know this one. Issue: you run Docker ps. This is the command. I'm making like this one, and get an error. Cannot connect to the Docker daemon. Troubleshooting steps: check if the Docker service is running. This is a service, you have to check it's running or not. Sudo systemctl system control status Docker. First see the status. If not running, start the Docker service. Sudo system control start Docker. Add your user to the Docker group to avoid sudo. So sudo user mode modification hyphen space hyphen a, add to the group. This G should be the caps always. Then Docker. So add your user to the Docker group. So this is the group and altogether the group name Docker. Then variable user. So if you giving this dollar then user like that, then it will read the automatically which user is here. Is it Ubuntu or which one? It will take. If the one is Ubuntu, just write the Ubuntu. That's good also. But I prefer this format, dollar user. So for the freshers, please try some commands memorized. Normally I don't say to memorize, but today I will say lots of commands should be memorized. Unfortunately, you have to memorize some commands, and maybe lots of commands today. There is no other way, man. Something you have to memorize also. So please memorize these things: sudo systemctl status, first status, then start. Then these two things is for the especially daemon not running. Especially if it started this is, then daemon is running. Then Docker ps, if you say, you can see the Docker present state. Then there will be no error. Normally error was which one? Cannot connect to the Docker daemon. But this is the sudo user mode. This is another thing, but it should be also added to avoid just sudo. Without this, you have to run every time sudo systemctl or sudo docker ps. Okay, here also you have to write like this: sudo docker ps. You have to write. It's not good, right? Every time. Okay, then scenario 2, Docker version mismatch. See here, version. You are running a Docker command that is not supported in your installed version. This is very much common thing. Troubleshooting steps. Check the Docker version. Docker space hyphen version. You have to see that which version is installed. Update Docker to the latest version. Then sudo apt-get update. Then apt-get install docker -ce docker ce cli containerd.io. You have to update the latest version like that way. Sudo apt-get update, this is updating just your Ubuntu server, because this is the apt, right? But this is updating your Docker server. So without Ubuntu server updating, you cannot update the Docker server, because Docker is the guest in your server. Okay, so this is the thing with you, and this is the version command, space hyphen hyphen, then version is coming with which one? It's coming with AWS, it's coming with Docker, it's coming with other like Jenkins or like that way. But it's not coming, the hyphen hyphen not coming with EKSCTL or EKS, which command we are using inside. No need to give the hyphen hyphen. This is also very much important, especially for the freshers. Then Docker image commands. Scenario 3, unable to pull Docker image. See here, unable to pull Docker image. Issue, you run Docker pull Ubuntu and you got error. Which one? Error response from daemon, pull access denied. So Docker pull, right? You run this guy, and but there is the error has come. So ensure you are logged into Docker Hub. Why is coming unable to Docker image? You have to ensure Docker login. This is logged in or not. If not logged in, then you have to give your password, username also. Then check if the image name is correct, like Ubuntu instead of Ubuntu. Okay, so you have to check this way. If using a private image, verify you have access permissions. So if you are using the private image, you have to see that permissions. So for the freshers, if this is like that, image not pulled, most of the problem with the login. Okay, I'm saying from my real time. So yeah, most of that is the login. If your login is good, then normally your the Docker Hub is always the, I think this is also okay, because your image is there, which images should be used, you can get easily from the Docker Hub, but should be the Docker login perfectly. And if not sudo added like this way, then you have to add here sudo docker login. I'm writing here sudo, okay, sudo docker login. I assume the sudo is not added there. Okay, then scenario 4, Docker image takes too much disk space. My goodness, very much important thing, disk space. So issue, your system is running out of disk space due to unused Docker images. This is the common scenario, unused Docker images, lots of time not erased, not removed. So you have to see first list. Okay, see the list of Docker images. If you write this one, Docker images, I'm saying again, if not sudo added, see here I'm saying again for the freshers, because this is too much problems with freshers honestly. If not sudo user mode, the added, the user variable user is not added in the Docker group, then you have to write every time sudo. So I am assuming here also this is not added, then sudo docker images, you have to write like that. So you have to see, then same way I'm copying this guys, sudo from here, same way you have to see sudo docker image prune. So after watching the list, you have to remove which one, unused images. So how to remove unused? Prune command, sudo docker image, first you have to see that, then prune, then -a. That means interesting thing is that in the Docker you have to remove unused all the images. You have to use the prune command, prune space -a. Then remove specific. If the specific image, see here, then RMI is coming. Freshers. Very important thing. This is very important thing. I'm giving also here sudo command. So if the specific only one image or maybe couple of images, not all the images, you got the point, then just you have to use the RMI, remove image. So specific is RMI, but all is prone. This is also interview question. Very much careful, okay? Then Docker container commands. Now we are in the container commands. So container fails to start, issue, you run docker run, this is the command, right? Docker run my Flask app, assume this is the command, and the container exits immediately. That means it's not run. Some troubleshooting steps, check the container logs, docker logs, then container ID. So container ID, just give them, it's coming the docker logs. Again I am saying, if sudo not added in the docker group, that means the user not added in the docker group, then you have to write e in the sudo here, okay? Sudo docker logs. I'm not writing again, or I can do it here this way, same way. It will be easy for the freshers. Okay, then run the container in interactive mode to debug. Then space /bin /sh shell. So bin shell you have to write here. So this is the way to run the container in interactive mode. Then verify the docker file cmd or entry point is correct. So you have to verify the docker file. In the docker file you can see at the bottom there is a cmd or entry point. That means which command should be run. So please this is very much important also, the docker file. At the last portion normally the entry point or cmd. You have to recheck that one also. For which one? Container fails to restart. So container is reading when you are giving the docker run this command, especially then interactive mode, then this is the app, right? This app is talking with docker file. In the docker file there is the command in the cmd or entry point. So those commands are then working. So following those commands, actually the docker run is working, or the container should be started then. Then here scenario 6, container running but application not accessible. Oh my goodness, very complicated this is, but I am making easy. Issue, you run docker run -d detach mode -p port 5000:5000 my Flask app. So I am making this guys like this, but the app is not accessible on localhost 5000. This is the 5000, which one my expected, that one is first, and which one the by default, that is there. Next colon this one expected one, you can put here 5001 5002, either way, whatever you like, 1 2 or like that way, either way, which one you expecting. But this guys is written already in the docker file by the developers. This is not yours, this is not for the DevOps guys. DevOps guys is working is here. Freshers, very good tips here, okay? Fresher guys, please watch. First port is your port, whatever you like, but second port, this one is from the dev team, especially they are giving which port should be, but you can change also this one. And which one you have changed, that one should be on the local host. If that one was 5001, then it should be 5001. 2 3 4, it should be like that way. Okay, so troubleshooting steps. Check if the container is running. Docker ps you have to give, or if the you can use also sudo command if sudo not added in the user group, then you have to give like that. So verify the port mapping. Docker inspect, I'm giving again here sudo. Okay, sudo docker inspect container id, then pipe, then grep, which one, host port. You have to verify the port mapping. Then ensure the application inside the container is listening on the perfect port. Man, it's very much important. See here, first is 000, but second one is static 5000, because first one showing up like that IPv4 either way, and the one is given by the dev team. So you have to see the correct port is working or not. You have to grab the host port. So if you following these guys, then your this problem that container running but application not accessible will be solved. So for the freshers, I am saying that if application not accessible, then mostly 95% problems with the port, which port you are using. When services are more than 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, maybe lots of services, on that time there is the problem. If the same port is there is used, then you have to change here, already I said. Okay, so you have to inspect like that way. Container id using, then pipe, then grep. Grep means you have to grab. Okay, I think like that, grep. Lots of things, but which one I am picking, that one should be grab. Only one thing maybe. Which one? Host port. Then docker network commands. Scenario 7. Containers cannot communicate. So container, when the network is coming, that means communication problem. So container cannot communicate. Okay. Then two containers cannot communicate with each other. So here is the troubleshooting steps. Create a custom Docker network. Docker network, create my network. Interesting, very interesting. I'm giving sudo again here. I'm assuming that AG not done. User mode AG not done. Then you have to give like that way. So you have to create here which one? Custom Docker network. Sudo docker network create. This is the basic command. Then my network. My network may be like 2-tier or 3-tier network. You can write like that way. This is your thing. Then attach both containers to the same network. Man, interesting. Docker run space -- network, then my -- network, which one you have given the name. Then -- name, container 1 my flash cap, container 2 Redis. Interesting, very much interesting. You have to create first your network, then you have to attach both containers to the same network. The question was which one? Two containers. See here, I'm making the red color. Two containers cannot communicate. So two containers, I'm assuming this is two containers. Forget any name. Any name can be here, but concept is two containers. So container 1 and container 2, then the name should be here. You got the point? So which one? Docker run network. First network, your created network, then -- name, the container 1, this is, then again -- name, container 2, this is. Use the container names to communicate. Ping container 1 from container 2. Interesting, very, very interesting. Then you have to see these guys are communicating or not. using the command which one? Ping container 1. So it should be here from container 2. You have to ping this one. You have to enter into the container 2. So you have to do the docker exec, then -it, then the container 2, then space -bash. You have to go inside there. Then from there you have to ping container 1 is connecting or not. So hopefully there is no problem. So when the communication is problem in the interview, just say that I am creating my custom Docker network. Man, which one you are creating? Custom EC2, custom RDS, custom bucket. Okay, so custom cluster. Which one you are creating from your brain? That one is custom. So here also same way, the network automatically Docker is creating the network inside. If not working, communication is problem, just forget everything. Create your custom network, Docker create, Docker network create, then the name, my network, either way. Then you have to run Docker run space -- network, then your my network or either way, any name, then space -- name, which one the name? Container 1, then container 1 name should be there, Flask or anything else. Then it's coming the another container, then that name, Redis or Nginx, either way. Then here is the scenario, network conflict. You get an error, network with name, my network already exists. Troubleshooting, list of all network, Docker network ls. I'm giving here also sudo command, sudo docker network ls. So ls, see here the list. Normally we are using in the bash, right? Ls. So here is also the Docker network. You have to write ls. Docker network, something interesting. See here Docker network, then create. For the freshers, I am sharing this how I memorize. So Docker network create, Docker network ls. Okay, this is coming like that way. See here, remove the conflicting network, Docker network rm. Okay, here should be also sudo Docker network rm, remove, then my network, that conflicting network you have to remove, then recreate the network. Okay, how to recreate? Just this is the way, Docker network create. So my network 2, like that you have to write. Then after creation, of course you have to run like this way, Docker network, my network 2, then space -- name, then container 1, then is coming the your app, which one is there, those all the apps should be there. So this is the thing, the conflicting network conflicting. So for the freshers, I'm making easy or easier for you guys when coming any question for network conflicting, either way error, either way cannot communicate the network, forget, man, just coming the word network, say that I'm creating my custom network, or saying that your created network is not working. Okay, no problem, I'm watching the list, not a Docker network ls, then I'm removing my that custom network, then I'm recreating, see here, recreating that the network with new name. Easy. Either way I have to create or recreate. Recreate means if you are deleting, then the recreation is coming. Easy, right? If you have deleted, then the recreation is coming. Then Docker volume commands here. So the problem is scenario 9, data loss after container removal. Man, very much dangerous thing this is actually. Not interesting, dangerous, man. So issue, You removed a container and the data inside was lost. Man, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of losing your job, man, because you have to solve quickly. Then troubleshooting steps. Use Docker volumes to persist data. Docker volume create my volume. That means you have to create, right? Then here docker run -v your volume, my volume colon / data, then my Flask app. You have to run that. Verify the volume is attached. Docker inspect container ID, then grep, then mounts. So this is interesting for the freshers. When the volume you have to see, that verify means you have to see, right? Verify. You have to watch, just watch, like dry run to see. So the volume when coming, if you are using the grep command, pipe then grep, that means lots of volumes. You have to see that which one you have attached. That means mount one, and M should be here, cap C M. So you have to inspect that container ID, then grab the mounts, which one you have added. Interesting thing is that which one you have added, that's coming in the mounts. You have created, right? Created the volume. That means that is added by yourself. This is the when you are running docker run is the adding. See here volume you have run docker run. See here docker run network, you have added the network. Interesting, right? Not the docker add, docker run. So today I am saying lots of things you have to memorize. Docker run, okay? So docker create, right? Okay, docker network create, docker network rm. Yes, so volume not attached. So here's the volume not attached, and first one was data was lost. Okay, then here is you create a volume but the container is not using it. That means not attached means not mounted. Troubleshooting steps. Verify the volume exists. Docker volume ls, the list. Same way I'm going back again. Docker network ls, that means list. So network ls, volume ls. Easy, man. Life is easy. DevOps life, yes, too much hard. If you feel like something of amusement, laughing, enjoying, is easy. So docker volume ls, docker network ls, docker network create, docker volume create, right? Here is also docker volume create. So docker loves the words first. Which one should be first? Then create, then ls is coming. Keep in mind. Easy. Then docker run, the volume mapping or connecting or mounting. So docker run. Docker run means adding something, right? -v, then verbose, then it's coming the volume. Okay, then data. This is the thing. Same thing here, right? Docker run this way. When you have created here, and here is the you have to see first list that your volume is exist or not. I'm making this is like this. After watching, yeah, my volume is existed, man. That means my docker run did not work. I'm doing the docker run. If not existed, then you have to create. So either way, the problem with volume, guys, freshers, either way the problem with volume, which one? Data, right? Volume means data. If data loss or not running like that way, not attached, so volume or data is coming same thing, the volume. So you have to think that you have to create. If not created, then you have to recreate. So it's easy that if any problem coming with volume commands, then you have to think that you have to create the volume. So you have to already you have created but not attached, then you have to see volume ls, then you have to run. So either way you have to create means run means add, right? After creation you have to add, that means you have to run. That means create and run. Create and run. Pressures, very easy. Very easy. So create and run, these two commands are coming. Then container not starting in the Docker compose. You run docker -compose app, but containers fail to start. It's really problem, right? So check the logs, docker compose, then space logs. Start the containers in detached mode and debug. Docker compose space app space -d. So docker compose app -d. -d is the detached mode. So here is the normally we are using which one? Docker compose app, right? This command. But when the is coming that not started, then you have to do which one? Detached mode compose app -d. Of course, if not the sudo command added with the user, you have to write sudo docker compose app, then space -d, then docker compose exec, then service name space /bin shell. So you have to exec that service name. Exec means you have to go inside. What's the problem there? You have to debug like that. If it's working good, it's working good. If not working good, you have to go inside, then you have to see. Of course, you have to see, and you will see that everything is good then. So normally for the freshers, if containers not starting in the Docker compose especially, then -d solving the problem. If still not solving, you have to go to the logs, then you have to go inside to find out. Okay, then Docker swarm commands now. So swarm and Docker compose, these guys are brothers to me. Docker compose is younger brother, Docker swarm is older or big brother. I think like that, because Docker swarm handles lots of servers, like 20, 30, 40 servers. So more than 40, normally I'm going to the Kubernetes. So here is the scenario. Swarm node not joining. So node should be joining. So node not joining. Then issue, you run docker swarm join. So this is the actually the command to join the worker node, but not join to the cluster. Verify the token is correct. Docker swarm join token, then worker. So you have to verify that Docker swarm join token worker, this is correct. Ensure the worker node can reach the manager node over the network. Check firewall rules to allow Docker swarm ports. So Docker swarm ports, which one? 2377 7946, either way, any ports. You have to check the firewall rules. So actually Docker swarm join token worker, when you are giving, then 90% problems is solved, honestly, because problem comes with a join token mostly. If not, then you have to go this way. Then service not scaling, man. Service not scaling. Scaling means auto scaling, okay? Then you run docker service scale. Docker service scale, my service equal 3. But only one replica is running. Here see that your service, that this number is the replica number. And replica means pod. So when coming the service not scaling, you have to think that pod not scaling. But here see the only one replica is running, that means 3 should be 3, but only 1. check the service status. Docker service ps, present state my service. Which one the service? You have to check that one. Then ensure there are enough resources, that means CPU and memory on the worker nodes is enough. This is called resources. The Docker are in the Kubernetes also, when you are using the Docker file, actually inside there is the container, there is the image, under the image there are the resources. So CPU and memory both are under the resources. So verify the Docker swarm is initialized, Docker node ls. You have to verify that one. Okay, then yeah, normally these steps are done. I'm giving a very good tip for the new guys. When you are watching that service not scaling, think that like that resource, that means CPU and memory, you have to add extra CPU or extra memory. When you are watching that only one replica is working, only one, that means one replica has taken all the CPU and memories. So for the other two replicas, other two ports, you have to add the resources CPU and memory. Very simple concept, very simple concept for the freshers and also for the experienced guys if you think this is complicated. So when the coming, the all the ports not working, one port working, 99% problem with CPU memory utilization. So you have to go there, you have to add more CPU, more memories. Easy, okay? Yes, then Docker build issues. So scenario 15, Docker build fails due to missing dependencies. You run Docker build, this one -t my app, and get an error, unable to locate package, the package name. Okay, troubleshooting steps: update the base image in the Docker file. So base image, which one? From Ubuntu latest or from Flask, from Python 3.12, either way you have to update that one. Ensure the package repository is updated before installing dependencies. Run apt-get update and an update get install space -y, that means yes, then package name. Verify the package name is correct. So problem is here, issue, after running build -t my app, you got the error, Docker build -tag, then my app. That means your Docker file has something problem inside. Okay, so you have to update the base image in the Docker file. You have to see everything, especially from Ubuntu. Then you have to the cmd command is the run, actually cmd command, or the command for the entry point. You have to see everything one by one, because when this error is coming, this problem especially inside the Docker file. Easy. In the interview, just say that the word dependencies, Docker build you have deal, but missing the dependencies. That means Docker build is not working. Freshers, let's focus that Docker build not working. Okay, problem is Docker file. Finished, 100% problem. And another thing is that space dot, this dot, space dot means everything inside the Docker file. You got the point? So if space dot missing, then also problem. If without space you are giving like that way, dot, it's also problem. So these two things, just think like that. This problem actually not too much because people not forgetting this one, but problem with Docker file, too much problem. Okay guys, so from scenario 16 to 30 I will share in the second part. Today's long time, 10:21 p.m. now. I have to sleep. Yes guys, see you in the second part. Thank you. Take care.